Okay, we're getting into special techniques in my rock book level 3, third book, which is really the final book. And today we're going to talk about pull-offs. And these are not, your everyday run-of-the-mill pull-off techniques. A lot of these techniques I learned from studying classical guitar, and they may not be evident to everybody. The name pull off, it sounds like you're like just pulling your finger off the string up, but really a good pull off, a strong pull off, you're really kind of plucking the string. So your finger doesn't go just straight up in the air, it goes sideways and maybe comes to rest against the next string, kind of like you're doing like you're plucking the string with your left hand. Okay, so that is something you have to cultivate, and then you get a lot of, especially if you got an electric guitar with really light strings, you might hear this kind of thing, like where you're pulling sideways and you're actually bending the note, which you don't want to do. So you have to learn to do a little counter push with your first finger as you pull with your third finger. And what I would do is I'd go to the third string, maybe the seventh and ninth frets, and just without even playing anything, learn to push and pull at the same time with equal pressure. Push with your first finger while your third finger is pulling. So your third finger is pulling that way, your first finger is pushing up toward your face, like that. And then once you get it down, it's you can see, like you can probably see my left hand as I play here. You can see my first finger kind of pushing a little bit, right? Watch. See, it's kind of, at least you see the muscles kind of pushing in. And that counteracts your pull off, and it really helps stabilize the string. So it's a technique you have to develop. It feels really weird to push and pull at the same time. And try to do it with a string or finger skip. I wouldn't do it with two adjacent fingers the first time you try it. Do at least first and third, or you might do first and fourth, or second and fourth. Then later on, do them with adjacent fingers, like first and second, or second to first, or third to second, or pinky to third finger, which would be the hardest. To be able to push with your third finger while you're pulling with your pinky, believe me, it can be done. You can develop that reflex. And that's really what we're developing here. It's a reflex of that you don't even have to think about it. You just automatically do it. But you have to drill it over and over until it becomes a habit to where it does become automatic. Now these exercises are starting at the 11th and the 9th fret. And what we're going to do is zigzag, kind of like we did with the hammer-on exercises. We're going to go across 4 strings, twice on each string, and then go down 1 fret and go back toward the first string, and then down 1 fret back toward the 4th string. So that's basically, it's kind of like zigzagging down the neck, And just keep an equal, even rhythm. And at first you might want to exaggerate the pushing and the pulling, even to where you get a bent kind of, you might get that. And later on you can subdue that, you can get more control over that. Make sure your thumb is in a good position, that your thumb is making a triangle between the 2 fingers that are doing the pull off. So I kind of lost where I was. But you can't do it really easily with, thumb hanging over the neck or anything like that. Sometimes you might practice them that way because sometimes you're in that situation and you have to do a pull off, So that's sometimes we will purposely do bad hand positions, because we end up that way. Like especially if you're bending strings, you're not going to suddenly change to a parallel hand position, and when you're doing, depends on where you're going to and where you're coming from. So that's a good exercise, and you may not, when you work on it, you may not work it all the way down to the first fret. You can, but let me just go through and play it, and starting with the 11th and 9th frets, and let's do it with me, okay? Ready, go. May seem kind of boring, but there's a lot of stuff to think about. Your counter pressure, your hand position, your thumb position, keeping an equal, steady rhythm. I can't think of when I've had so much fun. It is fun because you're accomplishing, working on a new technique, or exercising and warming up a technique that you've done for a while. I think we'll just go to the 3rd fret and then stop. Don't want to wake up the neighbors. It's pretty late at night when I'm doing this here, so I do worry about that. Oops. Then later on you can do what I call snaps, and that's where you got like, and that kind of helps reinforce that pushing and pulling, that counter pressure I call it, and then you might just do it once on each string, like. I call those snaps, where you're like, kind of almost do it with just the left hand. Okay, so if you get a lot of pain, don't, give yourself a break. I'm feeling a little bit in my 3rd finger there with those snaps, but it really shouldn't be a painful technique to do. So have fun with that, and if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching it on Instagram, follow me down. And if you get a hankering, go to my Patreon page, and that's John Hedger Guitar Studio on Patreon, and then my Facebook page, John Hedger Guitar Studio. Everything's John Hedger Guitar Studio. My Instagram, my YouTube channel, my Patreon, and my Facebook page. So take care. I'll see you in the next one. Okay? Have fun.